Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up the likes and subscribe if you are new. And you must be wondering, where has this brother been? Where has this boy been? Well, I didn't really want to waffle. This international break has been mind-numbing, has been disgusting, despicable, boring as ever. England, barely good against Malta. Gibraltar getting slapped up by France. I mean, it's just been a waste of everybody's time. And club football, we really needed you back. And we have you back. The week is kicking off and we're starting it with a video because I would like to round up all of the rubbish, all of the rumors, all of the rubbish riddles that I've been reading. And I must say to you, it's not like as if it's been a situation where I haven't been able to make the videos, but I've just thought to myself, these topics are arse. It's as bad as Arsene Wenger's offside rule change that he wants to implement. I mean, what is that? So I said to myself, this is one video worth, and then we're back into the thick of things this week. We've got a lot of shows coming up, so make sure that you're ready for the uploads and shows. The striker situation, let's start with that. Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney and all of the other young protégés that are prancing around Europe that we are supposedly interested in and keeping tabs on, the Seskos, the Fergusons. Now, with Osimhen, I don't think this is happening in January at all, okay? It's far too difficult a deal to get done. We know Napoli are notorious for absolutely squeezing the living daylights out of any club for as much cash as they can. They are notoriously terrible to buy from. You look at Cavani's, the Higuains, even Hamshiks in the past, they are just difficult to deal with. So Osimhen is a summer deal. Now, the only way that maybe we can try to jump the queue and leap in front of the other clubs is to do what we have done before, which is to sign and to buy in January, but to loan back, to do a Pulisic deal where you get the deal done early, do a Ziyech, do a Gusto, maybe. Now, this is also highly unlikely. I don't think it will happen. But if you go balls to the walls and pay to the nth degree, then maybe Napoli will just, crumble and actually, take a deal as like that. But to be honest, that rules out any competition and any bidding war. So I really highly doubt that even happens. But he'll be away in AFCON in January anyway. So I don't see that deal really materializing. Now, for me, with Osimhen, am I worried in paying such a fee? That it will probably have to be, yes, I am. I don't feel like he's as complete, and he isn't as a Harry Kane, which is the only player in the last transfer window before he went to Bayern that I would have hanged my hat on, that I would have been so calm in acquiring. I would have been, this is a complete forward. He is just, there's zero bust potential. He's a finisher with both feet. He can head the ball. He can drop deep. He can pass. He can carry the ball. He can do everything, right? It's that type of elite level striker you're looking for, a complete striker. There's not many of them in world football right now. That's what you kind of need, of an age profile to teach and to kind of look after and to nurture those young Jacksons and Broyers. Now, Toney also falls into that age profile. However, really well articulated by Eunice on his channel, Mbeumo and Wissa go into the AFCON most likely. So how is he going to leave Brentford mid-season when those two are potentially going to be away? Brentford are going to need a forward. Also, he probably does owe them some loyalty points. If this was Tesco, he has tapped his card many times. That man had they did a whole speech for him at the end of the season. Thomas Frank did a Norwich lady at Carrow Road. I can't remember her name, but he was speaking and he was speeching. And those fans were having to, pay homage. And he was saying, get behind the striker who's going to be banned for all these months. Ivan Toney owes them the second half of the season, to be honest. They've stuck by him. Looks like he'll sign a new contract. I expect him to have a release clause in that contract. Be silly if he didn't. He does want to move. He's speaking on podcasts like he's going somewhere soon. I think he's changed agents, but he probably does owe them the end of the season. And then in the summer, he'll make that move. Unlike Caicedo, you'd expect a release clause in there. You don't want to have a problem trying to exit in the summer and outpriced potentially as well, as we in Liverpool had to find out the hard way. It went right to the death. So I think Ivan Toney will have a release clause in that contract, but I don't think, again, unlikely I think he moves, but we'll see. And then the Ivan, Fergusons and the Seskos, these guys are young. These guys are not the complete final product. And to be honest, we already have a few development forwards to look after, to nurture, to feed, to clothe, to love. the Jacksons and the Broyers, they have potential. They have attributes that you could, refine and flesh out, but they're not ready in the eyes of, potentially the board and manager if they are to make a move for a striker. So why would you sign more strikers that aren't ready? Sesko's not really a regular starter at Leipzig. He's still, learning his trade. A lot of potential. And the same with Ferguson. He's not even a regular starter at Brighton. High potential forward, but he has to displace Welbeck and Pedro before he can come to Chelsea for probably a whopping 100 plus million. He's going to be more than Caicedo, according to Brighton. And yeah, we don't really want to negotiate with them again. And again, these deals in January are just really unlikely. Sesko only signed last summer. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't sign a striker. I know that maybe scares the shit out of so many of you, but I'm just being honest. It probably might not happen unless there's somebody else out there. But, in terms of scouting them, unearthing them, we're meant to be looking for an elite level forward. And we know all the elite level forwards as a community, as a people. We know the forwards out there. There isn't many of them, which is why we're in this predicament. So to unearth another one, taking a gamble, and an elite unearthing, wow, that's going to be something special if that is the case. So we'll see, but we may not do anything. I mean, if Broja stays fit, he's coming back now. And Nkuku obviously added to the options as well. Not saying that, it's enough, but it could be. We need to look at it as multiple players are contributing to the final third. Multiple players are trying to get on the goal scoring sheet. Not any one individual is going to get that 20-25, as I've said at the start of the season. But Broja, Poch really likes him. And to be honest, he's got good ball striking ability. He is a player that I think if he can stay fit, he could surprise some people. But if is the question, he has to stay fit because Jackson desperately needs that competition. He cannot be the only striker forward available on a week-to-week basis. Washington probably needs a loan. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if the forward situation doesn't actually move. And then Ian Maatsen, listen, this is not fresh, but he's probably leaving. Him and Trevor Chalobah are probably leaving because Badiashile is definitely not going to AC Milan. Don't know where that came from. I don't know why that popped up on anybody's screen, on anybody's feed. I apologize for you having to waste your time in reading that. He will not be moving anywhere. He is very, very good. And AC Milan, I mean, listen, we've done a lot of good business with each other, but don't push your luck. Trevor Chalobah, however, is probably available for you, so speak soon if you wish. And yeah, Ian Maatsen, he's had contact with company, of course. He's got his number on WhatsApp, and he's very talented. He was in their team of the season in the Championship. He has signed, he was forced to extend that extra 1-year trigger contract, but he's not playing. There's 2 left-backs on the squad ahead of him. He's never played really left-back too often. Ben Chilwell's vice-captain and Cucurella's in form, and the wingers, there's many a winger out there. Unless he's going to be the next Bukayo Saka, from left back to left wing to right wing, then he's probably not going to get many minutes there, considering the Maduekes, the Mudryks, the Sterlings, the Palmers, and obviously out on loan, the Angelos, etc. So he'll probably be sold, and it's pure profit. So maybe a little 25 million there. Expect to see that as well in January. Reece James has been speaking a lot on his own fitness and his road to recovery and feeling stronger and fitter than ever before. Hopefully, that just proves to be the case in time. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but the proof is in the pudding, and we do not want to jinx anything because Reece James is a character right now where we need him fully fit. I mean, obviously Gusto is great to have as competition, but Reece James is just a cut above the rest. It's like having a live party, on Call of Duty. If you've got a friend that is just the star, is the sniper, is the shot taker, and yes, you and your friends are good, you're decent, but he is the guy. It's like pro clubs as well. It's like having your goal scorer, your striker, your number 9, your threat. He's the 90 rated. He's the one that you look to for guidance. And he's the one that when he plays, the rest of the team are 10, 20, 30% more confident. So if Reece James can stay fit, we're a completely different team. So hopefully he can stay that way as well. And then finally, of course, Nkuku as well, in terms of fitness, is coming back. He wanted to be back for Newcastle, which is the next game. I personally would probably leave him on the bench. We'll talk about it more in the preview, but let's be really careful here. Let's be really, really wise, as we have with Badiashile, as we will have to be with Lavia, as we will be with Fofana, who seems to be walking and running again, hopefully, via that image. Let's take our time with it. There's a lot of pressure on Nkuku's shoulders. There's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of enthusiasm, but there's also a lot of risk. He was injured last year for Leipzig. That's why he missed the World Cup. We do not want to, take any chances here. So we're going to have to take our time with it, literally. And then what else was happening over the last few days, which is quieting down now, was apparently my club is going to be relegated. Apparently my club is going to be docked points. I mean, a little bit of fear-mongering going on, a little bit of clickbait going on. I'm not going to lie. A lot of the articles going crazy. We have not been charged. This is the key here. We're not quite Manchester City. First of all, it's 105 versus 1. But I've seen some of their charges. The grass is too green. The seats are too wet. I don't know. We'll see what materializes from that. You never know. But they deny their charges. They say that there's evidence that they have done no wrongdoing. So that's their business, right? But for us, we're not even charged. It's one, maybe 2, 3, 4 accounts of paying agents, Williams and Hazards and whatever. Is it going to lead to docked points? I mean, seems like a lot of fear-mongering to me. I'm not particularly worried. I've not sweated over the situation. I've not made a video on it for good reason. I personally feel like we'll see, right? But I don't think we're going to be punished so heavily for previous ownership's problem that they obviously potentially have created. And our ownership have been very transparent with the Premier League, with the FA, very forthcoming in terms of offering options to, be transparent and to investigate and to, work with the governing bodies. I just don't think they're going to want to go and throw that all away by punishing us severely, Everton, people say, Everton is a situation that is completely separate. They broke profit and loss sustainability rules, they made losses that they were not allowed to make continuously year after year. They were punished. But for us, it's a different ballgame. It's agents. Now, not to say anybody shouldn't, look at us and think, what are you doing? That's wrong. But I think many clubs do what we did. If we're talking about paying agents and under the table, under the carpet, I wouldn't be surprised if many clubs do this. Rich people get in rooms, bad things happen, accounts offshore, this is the life. This is what happens in the real world. So it's not just us. I'm sure of it. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm pretty sure it's not just us that maybe have moved in this way. So it's not really a time to be, in my opinion, going like, ooh. I think Man United were fined or, charged with something also not long after City. We have obviously come to the fore before and been fined by UEFA due to our owners just shedding light on things we've done in the past. I think it's the right way to go about it. But am I stressed about it? Am I losing sleep over it? No, not really. And if worse comes to worse, it's not going to happen. But if we were relegated, I'd get over it. I'd say in a week or two, I'll just continue to stream. It'll just be Chelsea versus Millwall instead of Chelsea versus, Arsenal. But I will say this. If we were to be docked points, probably wouldn't be this season. Take a while to investigate, take a while to go through. Probably would take place next year. And what is it, 10, 15? I think we'd still be okay. So, look, there is no stress. Don't worry yourselves. The articles are very clickable. There's a lot of headlines. There's a lot of fear-mongering going on. Just take your time and just breathe. That's all I can say to you. Just breathe. So, yeah, that's basically everything that's been happening. Don't think I've missed much. Obviously, there's a bit of a Madueke Mudryk or Madueke debate going on online on socials. He's not playing much. When he is, it's little cameos here, 10, 15 minutes there. Yes, he could track runners better. Has he played right wing in his favoured position very often? No. One time he did. I think he had a right back into Sassy just behind him without the overlap. Give him some time, give him and Poch some time to figure out what the development strategy is. Not everybody can play at once. I think Poch is pretty known for picking an 11 and sticking to a group of 13, 14 at once to potentially not over-rotate. We're not in Europe as well, so it's not like we have loads of games. Yes, he could bring him off the bench, but he has to see if that situation is perfect for him to do so. But am I worried about Madueke right now? Not right now. I've said before in other shows that, listen, if he doesn't find his way this season, then obviously in the summer, Angelo will be back. It might be a conversation. Maybe he'll have to go out on loan and Angelo will have to stay. Whatever. But right now, there's no point worrying about it, guys. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Not everybody can play. Not everybody can perform all at once to the level that we want. It's not going to happen. It will never happen. There will always be players that are a little bit on the fringes. There's always players that are out of form. As long as you believe in their baseline foundation of talent, then there's nothing to really worry about. And Madueke, in my opinion, is too soon to judge whether or not that talent is good enough for Chelsea and whether or not he's going to fulfill it. It's literally not even been a year. So it didn't cost much. He doesn't make much. Relax. It's no stress. It's a simple situation that will solve itself. So until next time, make sure you look out for the shows. We've got 2 live shows in the next 2 days. Videos are back every day. Hope you guys like the background. I decided to move today. And yeah, big up. Make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. In a bit, people. Peace. La 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 la